All right, thanks for being patient, everyone. We're finally getting going here. Today we have the Madison Marvels Gold team against the Triangle Hydra. Today will be a tough match for the Marvels. The Hydra already had an entire season before this to prepare, and we're the newcomers on the block, so we shall see how we do here. And as we get started here, I'd like to introduce you guys to the Madison Marvels Gold team, starting with Poison Apple. Her main roles being damage and frontline. Dreamer, the frontline support. We got Luigi, a support and frontline main. 007 Climber, a damage and frontline main. Frost, frontline and damage. XP Liam, a support and damage carry. And then we got Ghost with damage and frontline. And as we get going here, it'll be the same format as last week, doing those control maps on the same maps that we did last week, starting with Ilios. And as we get started here, we have back Bennett, the shoutcaster from last time. Did a great job last week, and back again to cast more of the XPL Madison games.
I'm happy to be here, and this point going to be familiar to anybody who tuned in last week. Got a lot of very exposed space, but the point itself is going to be that enclosed building, so it's really going to be about who can hunker down inside that building more effectively. It looks like both teams are coming out here very ready to fight in close quarters with the Reaper and the Doomfist for Triangle Hydra. Those are both very close range damage heroes, as well as the Reinhardt and D.Va close range tanks coming out from Madison, along with Moira, whose healing is only effective at close range. So both of these teams very aware of what this point is going to require from them, as they're going to start rolling out here.
Both teams, it looks like the Warriors are going to be the first ones to get to the point.
Yeah, they've got that Reinhardt in the front with a shield, trying to protect them from any damage that the Madison Marvels might try to put on them. But the Reinhardt's both coming together now. Those hammers going to be flashing. It's ultimately going to be the Hydras that are able to take the first couple of eliminations here. That Reinhardt doing so much damage with that hammer, just swinging through the Madison Marvels, finds a whole lot of damage, and they will get that first capture at the point. Now they will settle down here, and they'll be able to just hold their defense. Madison, they're making a couple of changes with their roster, switching onto the Doomfist, switching onto the Echo. Those heroes going to be a little bit more evasive, so they might have a slightly better job avoiding getting damaged here. Baptiste's Immortality Field keeping them alive, and they're going to find the first elimination on the Mercy. Traded out with one onto the Reinhardt, though. Madison's D.Va really in the front here, piling on the damage, but will get removed from her mech suit. Going to be much less effective outside of it, and a couple more eliminations coming down from the Triangle Hydra should give them this fight as well. You can see that percentage ticking up in the middle. Once the Triangle Hydras reach 100%, they will take this round, so it's going to be up to Madison Marvels to get onto this point. They're coming very close now to some of those powerful ultimate abilities. Moira has 90% of her Coalescence, a huge beam that outputs a great amount of healing, and that could be a great tool to get them into this one. But there's a Doomfist in their back line trying to take down those vulnerable heroes, but it's the Reinhardt who will find the final blow onto the Echo. But Madison, they're finding answers, and the Resurrection comes out, but the Reaper's ultimate, Death Blossom, finds 3 eliminations, and D.Va's mech will be cleaned up as well here. The amplification matrix from Baptiste was also invested by Madison. Unfortunate. But now the Reinhardt sneaking up behind this Doomfist, was not aware that the Reinhardt was there. Doomfist not going to be eliminated, though will be healed up, and actually when the Reinhardt falls down, it'll be the Reaper who can clean up, and now Madison, they need to touch very soon here. All they'll have is Diva's self-destruct to get them in, and she'll throw it out. The self-destruct will catch 2, and that might give Madison an opening here. Another one falls to the soldier, and Madison's Diva, though, not able to hold on to her mech and will be eliminated. Unfortunately, nobody else from Madison is going to be able to touch that point. And the first round of Ilios will go to the Triangle Hydras.
Yeah, and we see how powerful the Hydras are with their coordination here. Always sticking together, eliminating the Marvels. And unfortunately, they weren't able to get onto the point at all last round. Let's see what the Marvels do this time to try to adapt to this tough Triangle Hydra team.
Yeah, and this point, very different. There's not going to be any shelter for the Hydras to hide in. This time, the point is sunken into the ground. On this Ruins map, there are going to be a lot of angles that the Madison Marvels can take to just rain damage down upon them if the Hydras are the first to take the point. And they're going to be using a different lineup here with the Brigitte, a close range healer that's going to be able to provide a lot of value for them potentially if this does turn into a brawl on the point. The Hydra's not really changing up their composition, comfortable with what they have done. But it's going to be that Reaper who's going to be getting caught out here. The Hydra's, Reaper falling not low at all actually, unable to escape, barely unscathed, but the first hit is going to be Madison, the Brigitte managing to knock the Doomfist off the side. Reaper finding one onto Madison's Ash though. Echo will be caught out as well, and the Diva now isolated here on the point. Her team just not going to be able to be there, and she will be eliminated. The baby Diva though has stayed alive for now, and the fight somehow though, the Hydras were able to capture the point in the initial confusion, so this entire time their percentage has been ticking up. Madison's Reaper trying to get some damage in here, but not able to get close enough without the support of the team. Doomfist is going to be there trying to make something happen, but the Reaper will be able to escape, fades away, gets back to the support and the healing of the team, and is able to get a little bit more damage off here, but now the Triangle Hydras have a lot of ultimates getting ready. They were able to deal so much damage that charges the ultimates so quickly, and the amplification makes them deal extra damage. Then the Reaper's Death Blossom to find them from behind. That'll find 2 eliminations. Looking for more. Madison's Reaper trying to push forward here, but not able to find enough. The support from the Triangle Hydra is just too powerful for that Reaper to overcome, and will be again forced into a retreat. 60% and counting for the Hydras now. But Madison, now the advantage has turned. They are going to have a strong position here, especially if they can eliminate this Doomfist. Will not be able to do so. Their Reaper falls, but they're pushing in regardless. A couple of the ultimates coming out using that Rally and Coalescence, both support ultimates that will do a great job keeping them alive. The Reinhardt goes in for the pin, and Madison, that Reinhardt with the stun now onto the enemy Reinhardt as well, just going and swinging, but there's too much damage to overcome from the Hydras, and the Triangle Hydras will hold on to this point. Madison going to have a difficult time touching here in the next couple of seconds, and it looks like this second round and the map are also going to go to the Triangle Hydras.
Yeah, and the Hydras take the first point, best out of 3 here. Let's see what the Marvels are able to do to come back here. The game of the play, the Reaper from Triangle.
Yes, and this Death Blossom really excellent. The Death Blossom is a close-ranged ultimate that's just going to output a massive amount of damage to everyone surrounding that player. So that Reaper was able to find an incredible amount of value by doing that.
Yeah, we can see the unsung hero of the Triangle Hydra here. That Mercy healing so much, the Marvels were unable to get enough damage into the enemy in order to get any eliminations there, and that was really the deciding factor there.
It's true, that Mercy alone healed 36% of the damage, I believe, that the Madison Marvels were able to put out. That's a really strong percentage for healing. Rarely do we see anything above 30. So to heal 36% of the damage that the enemy team outputs onto you, that's really, that is a great job, a job well done from the Triangle Hydras. And it really helped them secure that map win. Going on to map 2 now, going to be Lijiang Tower, but it looks like first we're going to have some substitutions.
Yep, we will be right back once we switch up some of the players. Alright, and welcome back for the second match on Lijiang Tower. Just like last week, have that very open middle point that they will have to contest. Let's see what the Marvels are able to do to try to come back from that first loss. Gonna have to change up the lineup or something here. Let's see what they end up choosing.
Yes, and last week they found a lot of value on the Bastion. I'd be curious to see if they're going to try something similar here. Initially, it looks like they're going with a Reaper Ashe composition for their damage heroes, with Ana and Mercy being the picks for healing. That is not Bastion. We'll see if they do eventually decide to switch. Meanwhile, you've got a much more bunker-style composition coming out from the Hydras than we saw before, with that Orisa tank to provide shields and a bunch of useful utility for her team. She's slow to get set up, but once she does, she is very difficult to counter. So Madison, their advantage here with these very dive-focused tanks is going to be in disrupting that setup. And you're going to see them sneaking around the back here, but Mercy falls dangerously low and caught away from her team, unable to fly back to them. The Reaper will find the first two eliminations onto the Mercy and the Ashe, and the anti-healing comes through. Great job from the Triangle Hydras in order to prevent any healing from coming out for the Madison Marvels. The Roadhog looks for one with the hook, but is not able to find anything. Meanwhile, Madison Marvels, the Reaper tries to capture, but now it's 1 versus 6. The Reaper will be forced to retreat, and even that will not save them. Having to back up, and actually another couple of eliminations here coming out. A really nice job from the Triangle Hydras. The Diva's going to find some healing, but will be removed from her mech. Gonna have to try to build that back up by dealing damage to the enemy team. So she will be doing that fairly quickly now, and none of Madison have fallen yet. But just as I say that, they are able to find the Diva as well as that Ana, and the Death Blossom is huge. Finds one, puts the rest very low. That Reaper left him just a sliver of health. Will be cleaned up. The Graviton Surge used by the Zarya, not going to find much value, unfortunately, for the Triangle Hydras. And now Madison, their ultimates are coming online, and that Bastion, like I mentioned before, is now going to be the pick. Protected by the Diva, that turret hero trying to find a line of sight, and once the turret does, it's going to be so effective, but only if it can survive long enough to do that. The Orisa is going to find the Bastion, but Madison's Reaper is in the backline wreaking havoc, almost going to find the Zarya, is able to fade away and survives that after finding, I believe, 2 eliminations, and then teleports onto the flank again. Very bold play from Ghost here on that Reaper hero. Madison's tank heroes are going to be anti-healed, but it's not going to matter. The Nano Boost comes out onto Roadhog. Will end, but it's not before they find the Orisa. And it looks like they're going to capture here. The Riptire not able to find anything because the Reaper was in that rage form. So much damage being pumped at, though, by the Triangle Hydras, and they will barely maintain control of the point. The ultimates now for Madison are starting to come online. They're going to have one last chance here on this point. If that, with only 10 seconds left, they're going to wait to regroup. Very wise, want to take this fight. But unfortunately, the Graviton Surge catches them, and the Echo will fall. Somebody's going to need to touch. It's going to be the Reaper teleporting at the point. Really nice in order to trigger that overtime. Now Madison, they have to stay on the point. The Reaper will fall, but it's the Diva now who's going to be able to touch. Keeps the overtime burning down, but it's going to be D-Mech. Going to be very difficult for the baby Diva to touch. She will manage to do so just before she falls. It's the Roadhog now looking up to find value onto this point. The Supercharger coming down from the Triangle Hydra is going to give them a little boost to their damage, and that Supercharger will be all they need to clean things up. The Zarya finds the eliminations, and that will be the first checkpoint of Lijiang Towers secured for the Triangle Hydra.
Yeah, and the Hydra's proving again to be very effective at defending that points once they get it. We'll see here if the Madison Marvels will be able to get the point first. Perhaps if they're able to keep it, they'll be able to defend it instead of constantly trying to be pushing onto the point against this Hydra team that doesn't seem to want to budge at all.
But now, this is an interesting composition. These tanks from the Triangle Hydras are very much preparing to set up into a sort of bunker, but the Tracer hero is the antithesis of that, really. The Tracer is going to always want to be pressuring the Madison backline, and if she is able to find value, it's going to be massive, able to take out supports, and boosted by the Mercy as well for that initial round of damage, and then is able to get out of there unscathed using her recall abilities. You can see that Tracer's ultimate charges so quickly from the Triangle Hydras, and it's the Tracer that they're going to be able to use to get themselves a nice position onto the point, recalling to try to heal her health. And it's just going to be able to blink around using that teleportation ability to really wreak havoc onto Madison, but will be slept and ultimately taken out by Madison's Ana. Resurrected, though, by the Mercy, and Ana will need to be getting out of there. Nobody has captured yet, and it's Madison's Wrecking Ball now that will spin on the point, preventing any capture so long as he can remain up, but will be eliminated, as well as the Mercy and the Ana. Madison now with no healing, it's going to be very difficult for them to pressure this one. The Tracer's Pulse Bomb finds one, the Orisa cleaned up as well, and that will be finally initial point control for the Hydras. Unfortunately for them, Madison Marvels were able to stall it out for a long time, have almost charged the Nano Boost on Luigi, and Luigi is going to be very close to that. The Nano Boost is now available to keep one of those heroes up. The Nano Boost goes onto the Soldier, boosting the damage and reducing the damage taken. So now that Soldier extra powerful for a short period of time, and you'll see, able to find some value, finds the Mercy. Oh, but it's the Death Blossom from the Reaper That ultimate was so powerful on Ilios, and it'll find 3 here, and then cleaning up onto a 4th and 5th as well. Really nice work there. And now it's Madison's Soldier against the world. Teammates not there will be respawning, and the Soldier will remain up for the moment, but taking a whole lot of damage here. The Tactical Visor ready for Soldier, that aimbot ultimate that allows Soldier not to have to worry so much about aiming at the opponents. That ultimate will provide a ton of value, but it's the anti-healing again coming out onto Madison, making it so difficult for them to stay up. The Zarya finds the cleanup, finding 3 for the Triangle Hydras. And this point just keeps ticking up. Madison's ultimates, though, are going to start coming online before too much longer. Triangle Hydras, they've spent a few of theirs. They've spent their Nano Boost, their Death Blossom, but the rest is almost up here for them. They've got Graviton Surge, Pulse Bomb, Supercharger, and Valkyrie. But even without the ultimates, they're doing a very nice job here. The Zarya's Particle Cannon is just going to be melting through them. All charged up now, going to be dealing a whole lot of damage. And the Pulse Bomb catches 2 as well. Really nice work from that Tracer. Graviton Surge used just to secure it. And now, with just a couple of ticks remaining, it does appear that this one is going to be closed out by the Triangle Hydras, unless Madison can make miracles happen. Someone needs to touch the point. Nobody's going to be able to do so. And unfortunately for Madison, Triangle Hydra will take this map.
Yeah, and right there, the best of 3 goes to the Triangle Hydra. Play of the game by that Tracer. We'll see if it was that Graviton Bomb that was able to take them out, or if it was something else.
Yeah, cleaned up 2 even without the Pulse Bomb, and then just blinks in there, really looking for that, and is able to find it. 2 with that Pulse Bomb, a really nice piece of work from that Tracer.
Yeah, and you can see how effective the Tracer is at getting into that back line and taking out those squishy targets. There's not a lot you can do when the Tracer blinks around and there's no damage in order to take her out in time.
Yeah, she's just so difficult to spot, has that ability to just teleport around anything you can throw at her, and a skilled Tracer can be an absolute nightmare for any support to deal with. So difficult to effectively counter.
That's correct, and I believe we will be playing one more game here just to play out the 3 games right after this short break while we do some transitions. Alright, back here from that break. It appears I was misinformed in that we will actually not be playing the third one, as the Hydra have another game to attend to right after this one. Unfortunately, the Marvel's not able to take the victory here. We'll be right back here with an interview with Luigi, really exemplifying the core skills that we were looking for today, respecting the game. An unfortunate loss for the Marvels, but we will see how Luigi thinks about this. All right, welcome back here. I have Luigi here. Can you please tell me how you thought this game went?
I thought it went like, I don't know, like pretty like, I guess okay. We were like communicating. Some of us were having like kind of like technology problems. I think we could have like been grouped a little better on it.
Yeah.
Like a thing that I could have helped with, I think, was timing my ults. Cause like in the first game, I accidentally clicked my ult, and I don't know if that's like why I don't think that's why we ended up dying, but it was just kind of a waste.
Yeah, the Hydra, having that experience, kind of difficult to face a team like that without too much experience, but I think you guys did a good job. And I mean, what did you guys think that you did the best out of this whole game?
Maybe a communication.
Yeah, communication, super key in Overwatch. Really able to coordinate with a team is super imperative in order to getting these victories. With the Marvels just starting out, we are only just beginning to unlock what's possible for this team, I believe. So that's all I have for you guys today. Be sure to tune in next week for the next game. Both the silver and the gold team will be able to play next week. Check out our Facebook page for the times of those games. Thanks for tuning in, and have a great rest of your weekend.